Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to present PoseExaminer, automatic testing for out-of-distribution robustness in human pose and shape estimation. Recently, human pose and shape estimation methods have achieved remarkable results on standard benchmarks, but they still lack generation ability and may fail in many real-world scenarios. To solve this problem, we propose PoseExaminer, which automatically diagnoses human pose and shape estimation method by searching over the parameter space of human pose images to find the failure modes. Specifically, given a human pose estimation method, our algorithms systematically analyze its performance and robustness in terms of articulated pose, shape, occlusion, and other factors. Furthermore, we demonstrate that training with the discovered failure modes improves model robustness and performance in both in-distribution and out-of-distribution datasets. Now let's dive into details. While human pose and shape methods excel on fixed datasets, current benchmarks are mostly designed to test models in scenarios that are similar to the training data. Therefore, the best methods lack generation ability and may struggle in real-world scenarios. This problem is generally acknowledged but hard to solve because 3D data is limited since it is very time-consuming and expensive to obtain, and most datasets follow a long-tail distribution, as we shown in this figure. Previously, people tried to generate synthetic datasets to solve this problem. However, those datasets still lack diversity in terms of, for example, articulated pose. And the datasets are still finite, so there is no guarantee that the variability of human images is fully explored. However, since we are able to fully control the data generation steps, can we systematically explore the parameter space of simulators for model weakness? To achieve this, there are several challenges we need to deal with. First is how to efficiently explore the large and complex high-dimensional parameter space of humans, especially when the rendering process is not differentiable. The second is how to localize as many various failure modes as possible while maintaining pose possibility. Our solution is a multi-agent reinforcement learning system, in which the agents collaborate with one another to search over the latent parameter space for model weaknesses. More specifically, each agent starts at different randomly initialized seeds and explores the latent parameter space to find failure cases. After converging to a local optimum, each agent explores the local parameter space to find a connected failure region that defines a whole subspace of images where the pose is incorrectly predicted. Given a simulator, we need to define a parameter space to control different features of human images. To represent human shape and pose, we use SMPL parameters. We also consider the clothing, backgrounds, and occluders. Then we need a search policy to search over these spaces. Since the simulator is not differentiable, we use reinforcement learning and adopt a policy gradient method as the search policy. Take articulated pose as an example. For one agent, we define a policy pi parameterized by omega. Then we can sample the parameter z from the policy pi. We use the pre-trained decoder of vPoser to get the articulated pose from latent variable z. After that, we can render an image I using simulator S. Then we test the method on I and get the error. After that, we define the reward function based on the error. Note that we also consider the distance between the policies of different agents to enable the search for different failure parameters. Finally, we can optimize the policy by maximizing the following loss function. The gradients of the first term is computed following the reinforced rule. After learning multiple failing cases, we search the space around this point for failing subspaces. However, vPoser has several limitations. For example, the distance between individual poses are not preserved in the VE latent space. More importantly, it is trained on a finite dataset, resulting in a biased distribution. Therefore, in this step, we directly search the pose space using a hierarchical searching policy. For each agent, We define the upper boundary, the lower boundary, and an update step, and uniformly sample within this step. We update the boundary when the minimum error of all samples is higher than the adversary threshold T and the pose is valid. PoseExaminer contributes to the field of human pose and shape estimation in two aspects. First, it provides a highly efficient way to systematically study the performance, robustness, and weaknesses of a given method. By evaluating the size, the maximum MPJPE, and the mean MPJP of the failure modes, we get new metrics to quantify model robustness. Secondly, it can be used to improve the robustness and performance of existing methods. Specifically, with the failure modes being discovered, the method can be improved by fine-tuning on the detected modes. In the experiment section, we first show that it is worthwhile to evaluate models with synthetic data, and it can reflect performance on real data. We show that with careful design, the performance gap between real and synthetic is small on both in-distribution and out-of-distribution datasets. Most importantly, we find that the failure modes discovered by PoseExaminer generalize well to real images and can still form models in the real world. After that, we use our examiner to study the robustness of current state-of-the-art methods regarding articulated poses, occlusion, human body shape, viewpoints, and so on. More detailed analysis are provided in the paper. We also provided metrics to evaluate the failure modes we discovered. For example, we can see that only 1.3% of the samples from the failure subspaces are non-adversary examples and can be estimated accurately by the target method. We provide several examples of the failure modes of articulated pose here. Finally, to evaluate the efficacy of fine-tuning with PoseExaminer, we fine-tuned the pre-trained model of spring, HMREFT, and pair in our experiment. Training with the failure modes discovered by examiner is very effective. It significantly improved the robustness and performance on both in-distribution and out-of-distribution datasets. To sum up, we have introduced PoseExaminer, which enables a highly efficient way to study the weakness and failure modes of human pose estimation method towards variance vectors. Furthermore, despite being synthetic, fine-tuning on the failure modes discovered by PoseExaminer can significantly improve the robustness and performance on all benchmarks. That's all for the presentation. Thank you.